Good morning. It is Thursday, June 29th. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell, the Enrollment Communications Manager here at Houston Community College. Pleased to be joined for the first time ever by my co-host, Joe Sam, who is the HCC Central Community Outreach Coordinator. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning. You know what? I think we were on the same vibe this morning. I see we were matching a little bit with burgundy going on. I love it.
Love it. You know, the newscasters, I think they write it in their contract where they start matching. It's like certain ones that match. So we'll get a routine going. We'll get it going.
I love the teamwork and I love the team effort. But you know what? We're here to talk about some social media and how people can actually join us on social media. You know what? We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, and also on YouTube, Sade. We are also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. So we want everybody to watch and tune in to HCC Up to the Minute.
Yes, in my urban vernacular, that loosely translates to "we out here." We
Yeah,
are
we out here.
everywhere. We are out here. Okay. Well, today we're discussing Global Coptic Day to celebrate Ancient Coptic Egyptian Church. And today, joining us to speak about that is Fadi Agour, who's a spokesperson for Global Coptic Day. Welcome to the show, Fadi. Unmute for us, Fadi, and say hello.
Sorry about that. Good morning. Glad to be here, everyone. Thanks for
Awesome. Great to have you. You and Joe are going to have an awesome conversation in just a second. But first, we're talking about Coleman's new weekend and evening LVN classes. Joining us to discuss that is Diana Robertson-Shirdon, who's the director of our licensed vocation nursing program at HCC Coleman College. Welcome back to the show, Diana.
Good morning, Sade. Thank you so much for having me on.
So happy to have you. I think last week I actually interviewed someone from Coleman College as well. So we're making our rounds with our health science programs. And to kick things off, let's get an overview of the overall program and tell us just what have we been able to learn since COVID, and what, it sounds odd to say what good came from it, but I think there's a silver lining for this particular program.
Yes, ma'am. So not a whole lot of great things came from COVID, but one of the wonderful things that came from COVID is for the LVN program. And what it did for us is that it helped these huge hospital systems to understand that, oh, we should never have gotten rid of our LVNs, because there had been a big push that they only wanted to hire BSN nurses. So there was a mass exodus of LVNs and kind of pushing them out to just the outliers, to the nursing homes and such. That now, since COVID, and we had a mass exodus of nurses during COVID, now these hospital systems are understanding that, oh my, we shouldn't have got rid of them. And us being the only community college in the entire Texas Medical Center, who do you think they're coming to for those nurses? So we are so very excited to say that we are just having some wonderful partnerships made at being able to meet those community needs and getting our LVNs back out there.
You know, that's a definition of "you're going to miss me when I'm gone." I did not realize that there had been a mass exodus. I did know that most LVNs did start, in the nursing home space, but didn't realize that they had pretty much eliminated those positions at the hospital level. So that's great to hear. And I always say this about HCC: we have programmatic readiness to meet the industry's demand. So happy to hear that. I think it may be helpful for those who are thinking about going into the medical field to understand those steps, right? Because LVN is one of those first steps to that BSN in nursing. So what is that career path in nursing if someone started very, like, the shortest term training opportunity up into the BSN? Tell somebody that journey.
Sure. So that's one of the really great things about our program is that it's 3 semesters, 1 year. All right. So if they start the program in January, they finish in December. So in 12 months' time, they are going out and rubbing elbows and working in the biggest and the best medical center in the world, bar none, and you can Google that. So we are very prejudiced about our medical center in Houston. But the way that it works, so they would start with us with an LVN if you're doing like a progression, that is. So they would start with the LVN program, where they would complete the program in a year. They would be able to go out and work and making a very nice salary for someone that's only been in school for 3 semesters. And then they can progress when they're ready to. They can do one of 2 things. They could go into the ADN program, which is the Associate Degree Nursing program, which would take them from being an LVN to an RN, or they could go straight to a BSN program, which is a 4-year program. Now, I can tell you that if you complete the LVN program, it paves that path for you for a much smoother transition into ADN or BSN. We have many colleges that has the route, including our own, that has that pretty much if you apply, you're kind of moved from the bottom of that list more towards the top of that list because you already are licensed. We know that you are able to perform well and that you're able to handle that course load. So the sky's the limit. You can go all the way up to a doctorate of nursing. So the LVN is a wonderful first start for you. Get you out there, get you familiar with things, get you corroborating and collaborating, should I say, with other members of the healthcare facility, the healthcare team, and just helping you get started on that route.
Awesome. And to help people get started, it's my understanding that you all expanded your program hours and offerings to meet the needs of more students.
Well, I am so excited to say that. So I have actually only been the program director for 3 semesters, but one of the big ideas that I bring in, so most people hear nursing school, oh my gosh, waiting list. I don't roll that way. All right. So I have not yet turned away one qualified applicant. I do not intend on doing that either. So instead of putting a cutoff on a number, we expanded our program. So not only do we have a fully day program, but as of this fall, we have an evening and weekend program as well. So those people that's out there in our community that, you know, they work full time, they have to work during the day. Well, they now have an option that they can go to nursing school evening and weekend and still be able to reach that goal.
I love to hear that. I mean, many people don't, you know, when people think about college, they think average age of student. They graduated high school, they're 18 years old, but the average age of HCC is 24. They have real lives, real responsibilities. So I'm sure this is expanding access to a lot of students. But the biggest thing I think people that are checking for at the end of those 3 semesters are job opportunities, right? So for the sake of time, tell us about your residency programs and the job opportunities with that and post-graduation.
So like I said at the very beginning, we have all of these different hospital systems that are coming to us, not just wanting to hire our graduates, but they're actually starting residency programs for them to really pull them in and solidify them that they will stay at their facility. Amazing residency programs. I can tell you that our job placement rate is around 98%. The other 2% either are staying out for a little bit to have a family or they're immediately furthering their education. So the job opportunities are there. We're just waiting for those students to come in and fill those positions.
98%. There's not much that meets that, okay, in industry. So that is phenomenal. You all are meeting the community's needs. You're being responsive to industry needs. Love to hear that. If you had to make an appeal real quick, 30-second appeal to a student who's thinking about starting but on the fence, what would you tell them?
Check our website. Go to the admissions guide. Yes, it's nursing school. It's not the easiest to get into, but let me tell you, it's not hard, but don't wait. Our application period for spring opened on May 30th and it closes on September 8th. Go on there, attend an information session. You can do this, all right? We're a community college and we are totally student focused. So get on there and check out those sites and come on in and get registered.
Listen, I'm not even cut out for nursing, but I kind of want to enroll. So thank you. Our registration is open. We've been talking to Diana Robertson-Shirdon, who's the director of our licensed vocation nursing program here at our HCC Coleman College for Health Sciences. Thank you so much for joining us, Diana.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
You too. We'll have information posted after the show for you to learn more about how to get involved, to enroll in the LVN program. I'm going to kick it over to my co-host, Joe, for our next guest.
Thank you so much, Sade. That is exciting news about the expansion of the nursing program. But moving on right now to Fadi Agour, the spokesperson for Global Coptic Day. Welcome to the show, Fadi.
Thank you, Joe. Glad to be here. We're excited.
Oh, we're excited to talk all about this. And to get us started, can you briefly explain the Coptic Orthodox Church's contributions to the world?
Absolutely. And there's a lot, Joe. It's the oldest church that it's in the Middle East. There's over 20 million followers, predominantly in the Middle East and worldwide now. It's an apostolic church. It has its roots from the gospel writer Mark in the Bible itself. Some of the contributions is one, it introduced monasticism, all the different monks and how they live, nuns all over the world. That actually started with the Coptic Church in Egypt. Something else, it's the Church of Martyrs, it's often been called. We've had more Christian martyrs that have confessed their faith in Christ than any other denomination from the entire world. We've had thousands and thousands of them. Just recently, we've had the 21 martyrs that died in Libya. Another thing is the church originates again from Alexandria, Egypt, and it introduced what we would call the modern day theology. We've had Saint Athanasius, who started theology and kept the faith intact from the days of Christ.
Absolutely. A lot of great information there. And that's something that's celebrated throughout the communities. So when we talk about these celebrations, we all also know that Global Coptic Day is usually celebrated on June 1st, but yours will be on July 1st. Can you tell us the significance of that date?
Absolutely. So June the 1st is historically when the church celebrates and commemorates the entrance of the Holy Family, which was made up of the Virgin Mary, Saint Joseph, baby Christ, when he was a baby, and they entered into Egypt on June the 1st. And so you have all of the Coptic communities all over the world celebrating at some point in the summer. Some are doing it that first week of June. Our church locally here in Houston is doing it on this Saturday that's coming up. To again celebrate the commemoration of Christ's entry into the country of Egypt.
Now, we know that there's a lot of Christians that are here in this world, and me, myself being one, but there's something called Coptic Christians. What does that mean? Give us more information about a Coptic Christian.
Absolutely. It's basically a Christian that follows the church in Egypt. Okay. Coptic originally means Egyptian. And we trace our roots all the way back to the pharaohs. So if anyone in Houston or any place else is kind of curious, what are the modern day pharaohs that we've all grown up learning about? Chapter 1 in our history books. What do they look like?
I see a different image of them in the history books.
Right. What do they look like? Are they still alive? What are they up to? And it's us. It's the Coptic Christians. And of course, from Egypt, you've had Christians that have immigrated all over the world, principally here in United States, Canada, Australia as well. And we're basically using this day to make everyone aware of Coptic Christians and what do they believe? What is this church all about? Where do they get their teachings from, etc.?
Mhm. And we know that a lot of different mayors in various states have declared June 1st as Global Coptic Day. Tell us how it's being celebrated globally.
Absolutely. So it first started by one of the members here in the Southern Coptic United States, approaching His Eminence, the Metropolitan Yusuf, who heads, again, the Southern Copts here in the States, and discussed with them how about getting a day that builds awareness in all of our various communities. That day, that discussion borne fruit into a meeting with the Coptic Pope in Egypt. They discussed it thoroughly with him and the Holy Synod. And from there, it was shared here in the States, and the government officials approved it. And we're blessed to say that it's been solidified by the former president of the United States that has formally established this day on June the 1st, at least here in the United States, and being shared by a lot of the other leaders from all over the world.
So what does that mean to you? What does it actually mean to be able to celebrate that and see that others around the world are celebrating as well? How important is it that we focus on that?
Absolutely. It's very important because it creates a lot of awareness. I mean, I just told you a little while ago, all these incredible, awesome things that the church contributed to Christianity overall. And unfortunately, I don't think that's really made its way to the mainstream audience and folks that are unfamiliar with Orthodoxy or Coptic Orthodox. And this, in so many ways, gives us a little bit of a platform to say that, hey, this is something that is legit, it's established, and you're invited all over the country, different communities here in Houston. Again, this Saturday, we're thrilled to be hosting it at our beautiful local church, and to invite everyone in the community, all of our friends, classmates, neighbors. And it's really a day for non-Copts, non-members of the church to come free of charge and enjoy and celebrate with us and learn what is this church all about and what makes it so special. And it'll be a great day for the entire family.
And I'm glad you mentioned today, and you just mentioned that it's free. People love the word free, but what else can people expect once they come to that celebration that's going to be happening here in Houston? What are some of the outlines of the agenda that they'll be seeing once they come for the celebration?
Sure, absolutely. It's I think about 11 to 3. We'll get together in the morning and go towards the afternoon. They'll get a sneak peek at the entire church that's been painted by a world famous iconographer that tells the story of Christ's entry into Egypt. So they'll get a church tour. They'll get, if you've ever been curious with the light and sound show, that if you go visit Egypt with the pyramids, we'll have a similar light and sound show with the Holy Family. So it's pretty neat to know that there is no other country except for Israel that Christ actually visited, and they went to over 25 different destinations all over the country and stopped there. And they spent over 3.5 years in Egypt, and then went back to Jerusalem and Nazareth. So we'll actually visit some of these different places, and they'll get a nice slideshow and presentation and sounds, and get to hear firsthand all these different places they went to. And of course, some Egyptian food and desserts, arts, and crafts. Right? You're like, you should have started with that, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be a fun time for everyone, where they'll get to learn a lot and have some fun.
Absolutely. Fadi, thank you so much for all of that amazing information. I'm sure the celebration is going to be absolutely wonderful. We want everyone to go out and check it out here in Houston for their upcoming event. Again, we are speaking with the spokesperson for Global Coptic Day. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you.
Awesome. Sade, of course, we're going to also have all of that info in our post after the show, but we're going to be getting to some news and events right now, right?
Well, I have to say that is so interesting, right? Like, it's one thing about our shared faith is that there's always something else to learn. So that I'm always interested in things that give me pause when I'm reading scripture are location. So that connecting that to him being there 3.5 years and not knowing that there's a celebration actually associated with it, incredible refresher on some history. So I enjoyed y'all's interview. But of course, we do have some announcements to wrap things out today. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be talking about the Upward Bound Tour. So students interested in learning more about HCC's Upward Bound program can also attend an in-campus tour. It's going to be happening today. So Upward Bound focuses on academic skills and field trips to universities and museums. So it's going to be taking place from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on June 29th at HCC Coleman College. And you can also check out the HCC events calendar for more information on that particular event.
All right, and we also have an announcement from our drama program here at HCC. HCC will participate in GI60 Houston, offering 2 in-person performances. The HCC presentation will feature selected 1-minute plays from around the world by our HCC drama students who are participating in their practicum. You can check out those plays at 7:30 p.m. Thursday and Friday, July 6th and 7th. It'll happen at the HCC Southwest Fine Arts Center in the Coralie Black Box Theater. Be sure to check the details posted after the show.
Yeah, now you see, I love the drama because I've also been in theater too, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out. But I want people to also go and check out the IT Summer STEM Camps. That's going to be continuing. It's time to schedule session 3 of HCC's Digital and IT Summer Camp for middle and high school students. Now, the week-long camps also include lunch, which is always good because, you know, I love to eat, and I'm sure they do too. And session 3 is going to be happening July 10th through the 14th. It's going to be virtual reality and Apple Swift coding on South Campus. And of course, again, you can check out our post after the show for registration info.
All right. Well, it is a good time to be a female entrepreneur. Yes, and what is called our series, our Fempreneur conversation series. There has never been a better time to hone your skill sets as a female entrepreneur. However, even though there are currently barriers to entry for female entrepreneurs, there's also them battling lack of confidence or readiness that they feel to hop into that field. So to overcome those issues, this series can shift the mindset of our fempreneurs in these areas of 5 dimensions: self-efficacy, locus of control, beliefs about our capabilities, motivation, and our level of resilience. This series will be happening noon to 1:30 p.m. Wednesday, July 12th. It'll be a hybrid series with the in-person sessions being at our 3100 main auditorium. Be sure to check the details after the show to learn how to join.
Absolutely. And of course, we want to talk about health and how you can always make sure you are focusing on that. So we are building bridges for health at Fort Bend Interfaith Summit that's going to be happening. And this event is groundbreaking and it aims to foster healthcare collaboration and cooperation among local faith-based nonprofit organizations and different companies. Now, on tap for discussion in this establishment of healthcare hubs, you can cater to individuals from all backgrounds seeking to be more inclusive and accessible in addressing the diverse needs of Fort Bend residents. So this is going to be really good for their community. This is going to be happening at 10 a.m. through noon on Thursday, July 27th, and it's going to be on the HCC Southwest Stamford campus. So make sure that you guys go and check out the post after the show for registration info on that if you are interested in attending.
Awesome. And Joe, do you know it's one thing you can count on HCC doing?
What's that?
Registering year-round, okay?
Yes.
So fall registration is open, but you can still register for some shorter summer sessions. Our classes are offered in person and online, varying from an online anytime course, which is more self-paced, online on a schedule where you meet at a scheduled time with your professor online. We also have hybrid and in-person options. Be sure to learn more about our programs, start dates, and options to cover costs by visiting hccs.edu/apply. Well, coming up, we will have Film Friday Tomorrow, we'll welcome the Rooftop Cinema to recap its Pride Month offerings and to tell us what's on tap for July and August. And next week on that one day we'll be here before the July 4th holiday, Dr. Sean Fitzpatrick of the Young Center of Houston will return for Mental Health Monday. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of UGS in a Minute. We'll see you next time.